In this segment, we're going to be discussing some interesting clips from Sky, from Neil Patterson and Ed Conway, and also Neil Patterson and Beth Rigby. So this clip, they talk about how the UK hasn't really decided what it wants to be, which is true, especially post-Brexit. So let's have a listen.
I mean, people are generally, under these schemes that we're talking about, coming here to work. I mean, is this just a natural consequence of us not being able to recruit directly from the continent?
Well, we've swapped relatively high levels of European EU immigration. Now, when you look at EU kind of citizens, they are leaving the UK in net terms. We've swapped that with immigration primarily from places like India, some parts of Africa as well, China as well. So it's a swap. And also, by the way, UK people, so what was another interesting kind of nuance is that it used to be that UK people, there was kind of emigration in British-born people, they would kind of go overseas. A lot of them going to Europe, most people going to Europe because we were all part of a single market. That's now reversed. So a lot of people who, I guess, hitherto might have gone over to Europe are not going, they're staying at home.
The other fact is some people who might not meet the resident criteria are also coming home. You know, specifically some of the people that wanted to stay in Spain long term or didn't declare residency there have had to come back, and I think that's the same case for other countries as well. It's just the Spanish one is more well known, I think, because those kind of British migrants to Spain were a lot more vocal. I'm not going to call them expats, I refuse. So that's one of the other things I think pushing up the numbers. It wouldn't be a large part of it, but it will be a contributing factor, and also the fact that the UK has low unemployment. And we have a lot of people on long-term sick leave. So what that means is you just don't have the labour pool available to pull from. So you need more immigration. If the UK wanted to reduce immigration, they would just change the points-based system. But they're not, because of the fact that they know they need people to come in. These are the fundamentals. Like these are very easy to understand. And this is one of the things that annoys me about in Britain, where they keep talking about, we can just train our own and whatever. You're just moving people kind of up the scale a bit, but then you're not replacing them with anyone. So you create a vacancy, but elsewhere.
But in a sense, haven't we kind of put the cart before the horse? I mean, we're turning off the taps in terms of people coming to this country to work. We have an awful lot of people in this country, and this goes to productivity and so on, but we have an awful lot of people out of work at the moment, and seemingly never, a lot of them.
It's not a lot. I think it's like around 4%, which isn't that high. If you look at the raw number, it's high, but you look at it as a percentage, it's not that high.
Seemingly never coming back. If the idea is, British people can do these jobs, well, we're not there yet. We're not going to be there for ages.
No, but so far the evidence is that it's proving really difficult to get people, to persuade people to come back into work. British-born people, a lot of whom left the workforce during COVID, a lot of people just haven't come back. Some because they're long-term sick, some because they don't want to. Mostly it's kind of long-term sick.
We've discussed it before, people that have been waiting months for just routine operations. Even healthcare workers who can't get seen. It means that they're out of the labour force, but more importantly, they're out of the NHS, which means that they're not looking after people themselves, other patients. It's just so stupid. Like, the stuff they've done to the healthcare system is completely brain dead. Honestly, completely brain dead. Because why would you do that when fundamentally I know they do it for ideological reasons, but the way to boost productivity is one of the ways to do it is to get the healthcare service working so that people who have conditions that they need to get looked at can actually go into work healthy rather than ill or injured. Like, it doesn't make sense.
But there's been this massive shift. And this is, the big problem facing Jeremy Hunt, Rishi Sunak, or one of them, is that trying to get the workforce back up is a big part behind trying to get the economy going again. And they haven't been able to do that yet. But more broadly, if you take a step back, I think the issue is we voted for Brexit as a country. No one was entirely agreed on what Brexit meant. We spent years.
What do you mean? Brexit means Brexit. Did you miss that bit?
Kind of debating whether you were going to have a kind of hard Brexit or a soft Brexit. But again, not really fundamentally asking the question about what it actually meant. Does it mean more openness to immigration? Does it mean more closed borders?
And I think personally, it meant more closed borders. That's what the racist people who voted for Brexit wanted: less immigration. There was a guy, I think he called James O'Brien, he said he voted Brexit because there's too many brown faces at Tesco's. Now he's going to see a lot more, because you're going to see a lot less kind of other Europeans here. So that guy completely fumbled. But I think what what some of the Brexiteers voted for was less immigration. They wanted people, British people, to do the jobs that typically people who migrated here wanted to do, or actually did. I think that's one of the reasons for Brexit, anyways, because when you boil it down, some of the people who voted for Brexit had no other reason apart from immigration. That's all they had.
In the end, we have opted for more openness to immigration, but again, it's not clear whether that was what people wanted when they voted for it. But we're still
given the fact that the Conservatives have promised to bring immigration down for tens of thousands since 2010, and that was one of their main promises. I think people did vote for less immigration.
Starting to see kind of what economists would call revealed preference. So there's revealed preference of the UK as openness, allowing many people to come in. And now you have the revealed preference of, well, they're trying to legislate in Parliament to try and prevent people from coming in. To me, it looks like we still haven't worked out as a nation what kind of economy, what kind of society we actually want, which is kind of disappointing given how long we've agonised over this and how much noise there's been, that we don't know where we want to head right now.
But is there the opportunity for us to know that if there is not a national conversation, or at least a conversation led by politicians who are open and honest about the pros and indeed, yes, the cons of migration to this country? I don't think we've seen it. I certainly don't think we've seen it just since
not
2010.
yet. No.
I think he's right there, and I think there are too many, especially Tory MPs and ministers, who are too focused on the culture war nonsense and trying to distract people with that rather than focusing on the key fundamentals, which is the economy, and that's catching up to us, especially post-COVID, where people are realising like the economy just isn't working for them, and I don't think they're buying as much our immigrants cause all this nonsense. I don't think they're buying it as much because I think they want solutions now rather than anything else. And the Tory government, despite claiming they're going to bring immigration down, despite claiming they're going to be harsher on welfare claimants and other things, they haven't delivered. And I think the more the cost of living crisis gets worse, the more people realise the Tories aren't good with the economy, especially when we have the highest tax burden for about 70 years, since World War II. I think people have realised it, maybe not explicitly, but they are realising that the Tories are not good for the economy. There's a bit more I want to discuss. This from Rigby.
And then there's the two that I would argue are the more retail end of the offer. Mm-hmm. That is on the NHS.
I need to find out whatever they're filming. Is it a podcast or what? Because it's pretty interesting.
And on stopping the boats. And on both of those, I would say they are very much... Actually, on the NHS, it was very much in the red zone. That pledge is, I don't think I can say this with some confidence. I don't think he's going to hit that pledge.
But he didn't hit it though. She's talking about the one about cutting waitlist. He didn't hit it. So we know he didn't hit it. They admitted it back in April. He was never going to hit it.
He would say, well, the reason for that is the doctors, it's the nurses. They're striking.
Well, then the counter argument to make to that is, as Prime Minister, if that is your pledge, and you've got a series of strikes, maybe don't make that pledge, don't choose that to be one of your 5 things, or try and do a deal with the doctors and nurses. And again, it really matters to people, right? Because it's their hip operation or it's a non-emergency of an operation.
This is something we were discussing before. Routine operations are taking forever.
That they need, and they're having to wait. And that's a very tangible frustration for people. And then and
they can't keep blaming COVID. And that's the thing, and especially with private operators, saying that they will do people's routine operations. Some people are going private, even though they are paying taxes. It's completely insane what's happening here, and that's because of the Conservative Party have completely battered the NHS. They've taken it apart, privatised areas of it. What they have done is a national tragedy, I'll be honest. And we're going to end with something slightly funnier.
Russell, finally, I know the Prime Minister was in attendance today.
Sunak's a big Southampton fan.
Has he been down to see you? Yeah.
He might have come down, but I've got no interest in saying hello, sir. So,
fair enough.
How's that for honesty? Take care.
And to add insult to injury, you find out Sunak secretly met with Dominic Cummings 2 times to discuss bringing him back into government. Sunak said, the MPs, the media will go crazy. Your involvement has to be a secret. Sounds like some sort of sordid affair. But it's been confirmed, I think, by Cummings that these meetings happened. I think the Lib Dems are trying to claim that Sunak breached the rules in Parliament by having these secret meetings. I'm not sure. But He met him twice, once in December 22 and once July this year. This man is desperate. It's Jehovah for him, or Joe-over. He's finished. He's done. I think this election we're going to be smoking the Tory pack. I think he's done. There's nothing left. There's no way he should be able to win this. If he does win this, at the general election, or if he gets a hung parliament, I'll be genuinely amazed. I'll be genuinely it would be one of the biggest achievements in politics, because the last 5 years, or the last few years since 2019, have been abysmal, absolute hell. And if this lot somehow managed to get to a hung parliament, I would be seriously amazed. But yeah, I think he's finished. He's finished. He's desperate, going back to Cummings. Cummings, the guy who helped them win the Brexit referendum, even though I think most of the credit for that belongs to Farage anyways. I think Cummings wrongly gets credit for that, when I think most of it was Cambridge Analytica and Nigel Farage. They were the ones who deserve the most credit, I think, for winning that referendum, to be honest, because Farage was everywhere. But Cummings was the one who masterminded their 2019 election win. But I don't think... I think that was also more Boris Johnson than anything as well. I don't know. Boris Johnson, a very rare political talent in terms of he's just very good at conning people, and people like him. I don't know why. Him and Donald Trump have that similarity where, despite the fact that they make absolutely outlandish statements, they are such baboons or buffoons that people just like them. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's a quality. It's a very rare quality that not many people possess, where they can play the role of court jester perfectly, and people don't realise that these two are very malicious. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.